Hi, it's Baldur975 and welcome to Baldur's Gate 3, and today we're down in the Underdark meeting the Myconids, the fun guys that they are, and I've now managed to get Shanna Hart the Luminous Armour, which is a crucial component of the build that I plan to do with her. It is just dirty. It does Radiating Shockwave, where if the wearer deals radiant damage, they can cause Radiant Shockwave. This is really nasty. It's found in the Selûnite outpost, which I gained access to for being very small, and basically it puts orbs on anyone that gets hit by radiant damage, which debuffs them, and this makes her incredibly powerful, especially when you get Spirit Guardians on the go, which is one of the most broken and annoying spells. Yeah, in fact, in our D&D campaign that we play on a Wednesday night, I counterspelled someone doing that because it would have been horrific for my party to face that. And yeah, there was a lot of dick punching counterspells going on, but that's D&D 5e for you. Oh, not so fun guy, we get Glut. Now, the reason I'm down here so quick and meeting these guys is because I want to learn the two stores that are down here, because that gives me more access to the giant strength potions, which I'm still going to abuse throughout this gameplay. They're very helpful for me. Well, not for my character, but for the ladies. Both Karlak and, well, all three of the ladies actually benefit quite greatly from them. But the two, Barbarian and Fighter, are the classes you want to give any potions like that to, because they get the attacks to make the most of it. A one-attack character like a Cleric, it's not really worth giving them those sort of potions. Until those situations where you just kind of, you're throwing everything in. Like the final battles and that sort of thing. When you get down towards the final battles, you may as well just use everything you've got left. And knowing me, I'll have an absolute glut of stuff left because I hoard and hoard and hoard. It's the same when I play normal D&D. In fact, I just used a potion of... It was something of invisibility that I actually got in like level 4 of our campaign, and I've only just used it in the second to last boss fight of the campaign we're doing on Wednesday. So that shows you I'm a hoarder. That was like 2 years probably holding on to that invisibility thing. Never really even some of the challenges we faced going, it's not quite tough enough yet. Nah, not difficult enough yet. It's got to save it for something more difficult. Just the way I am, I do hoard things in games. And then sometimes forget to use them. But luckily with Baldur's Gate 3, it's very simplistic in the way you can see what potions people are on, what potions the people have been taken, and what spells they've got on, and so it's better that way so you don't forget. One of the things about playing D&D in real life is like the resource management and the remembering what to cast and when to cast it. We had a really hilarious incident where we had to activate these doors by pulling a lever or putting something between two electrical points, and the Barbarian kept doing it because he had the best constitution save, because whoever did it got electrocuted. And then I did ask, because I didn't think I had Mage Hand, so I asked the Warlock and he had Mage Hand, so I started laughing, and I looked at my character sheet and realised I did have Mage Hand. So for about 2 weeks we've been forcing the Barbarian to electrocute himself for no good reason. We could have just Mage Hand around the problem. So yeah, remembering all your abilities and all your spells and stuff like that is sometimes quite a challenge, especially when you're just chilling out playing on an evening. Now, I could have used Glut to do the Bibber Bang field, because Glut is actually brilliant for doing the Bibber Bang field because he can walk through it completely immune, doesn't set off any mushrooms. But I'm using him to come down and clear out the hook horrors, because he can then resurrect one of them, which will be a useful ally against the dwarves. That's kind of the plan. That's one of the things I normally do with Glut, is use him to clear out some of the other enemies down here. Now, I was a bit of an idiot because I'm probably pushing this fight. Well, I didn't think I was pushing this fight too much, but maybe I should have rested before taking it on, because I didn't have that many rages left, and that caused me a problem later on, because this fight is spread out. I maybe should have done part of it, then rested, and then come back and done the other part of it. The one good thing about Baldur's Gate, it really lets you abuse long rests. Honestly, in real life D&D with a DM, they're probably not going to let you get away with starting a fight and then going halfway through. You know what? I think we go back to camp now and rest, and then come back and kill the other hook horrors tomorrow. You okay, boys? Next time, tea and sandwiches. Yep, sweet. See you tomorrow. Yeah, that's kind of not how most DMs run their games. So, yeah, as you can see there, radiating orbs. That's the luminescent armor at work. Not so great at this point because she hasn't got Spirit Guardians, which is the great way of applying luminescent, fluorescent the orbs, and then really taking advantage of that armor, the luminescent armor. But there is stuff coming up that means that basically she gets everything she does is but virtually radiant, and like I say, when she gets the spell for Spirit Guardians, it really does kick up a gear. But yeah, I mean, the hook horrors themselves, they're pretty tough, but they're not that tough, and you can take them down pretty easily. They're a handy creature to bring back because they do have a decent amount of hit points when resurrected. Glut doesn't quite get the full HP value out of the creature, but the Boulette's the most powerful thing you can resurrect down here. The Beholder's pretty good, the Hook Horrors are pretty good. I like the Hook Horrors because of the leap maneuver and the fact it knocks everyone prone. And that helps because the large, I'm gonna say like large base or large footprint creatures can be sometimes unmaneuverable amongst just awkward to move around the map. So it's quite handy to have one that can leap from place to place. And as you see here, the spores reanimates him, and now I've got a hook horror to help me take on the hook horrors. At this point I should have rested, but I did push on, and unfortunately the fight got fragmented and broken apart, and big mistakes were made. I destroyed the Sousa bark, unfortunately. I didn't realise I'd done it at the time, and it wasn't until later that I realised I had done it. But yeah, I can't even remember what spell it was or what ability it was. I think it was Karlach throwing petrol bombs at the Drow Elf. Just not good. The Sousa Bark quest sideline is, the weapons are pretty rubbish. They've just actually put a mod in to make the weapons worthwhile, which I approve of because the weapons themselves are pretty bad. They're DC 13 save and throw, I believe, and they're magical, but I don't know if they convey just a +1 or no plus at all. However, the mod makes them +2 and makes the DC 15, which I think makes them much more useful, whichever one of the weapons you go for. I would have gone for one of them just to give Karlach something to throw and then hopefully silence something, but ultimately they're not weapons you're going to stick with. The Sousa Bark quest is just one of those. It's one of those nice little side quests. You get a lot of little side quests in Baldur's Gate 3 which aren't vital to complete but will lead to magical items or stuff going on. And that's pretty cool, as things go. There's a lot of things in Baldur's Gate 3 you can get away with not doing, but I'm going to try and do as much as possible on this playthrough. The hook horror himself, it's great to get a hook horror to fight other hook horrors, and doing this fight halfway up a tree, it tends to bring out the Boulette, which then tends to get bundled by the enemy forces, which is not a bad thing. Anytime the enemy are attacking your enemy, that's great. I nearly do, though, because of circumstances and some stupidity on my part, I very, very nearly get Glut killed in this fight. That would have been incredibly bad. Well, incredibly? It would have been bad. Not incredibly bad, but it would have been bad. And mistakes were made. I should have rested before this fight. And it just gets drawn out and a bit crazy. And I decided to run Glut away to protect him, and then the hook horrors decided to jump after him, which is a bit of a pain. I should have. This also should have, would have, could have in this fight. It was kind of, I was doing alright, so I didn't think too much of it, but then it turned right at the end, and unfortunately where I put Glut was somewhere that Shadowheart couldn't heal him, which got so it meant it got a bit little nervy towards the end. But all in all, it worked out. I just very nearly had some bad things happen. But that's the fun of doing honor mode, is, you know, mistakes can get made, and mistakes can actually cost you quite dearly. Hence why we're playing honor mode, so we're not safe scouting everything and making sure we get the best result. But yeah, sending Glut back to defect to keep him safe was actually a really bad idea, and I should have kept him with the party, because then he could have taken benefit of Shadowheart's healing when he got in trouble. But yeah, Karlak's still throwing everything she's got at things. That, you know, I kind of like that. It's a fun part to throw a character, just chucking stuff at people. Even if you do miss, it's just fun when it hits and does a lot of damage. I am sorry for the little break in this series for the few of you that are watching these. Yeah, I had to take a week off because I was so fluid up and bunged up that I didn't really fancy trying to record half an hour of me talking over something. Yeah, I just couldn't face it, feeling like really that rough, and I didn't think you guys wanted to listen to me sound all fluey and coldy and bunged up for a long episode of one of these. So I, you know, backed off and didn't do anything for a little while. I actually need to get through them because I need to clear my hard drive down a bit, because episodes of this are really big files. So yeah. It's one of the things doing YouTube. You just don't consider the absolute battering computers take while you do it, because the amount of file space that you use is pretty impressive. I mean, you know, my 1080p half an hour long videos rendered out and stuff like that, and the like 3 hours or so of raw footage that I'm using, then cutting it down to an hour and then rendering and creating another video, and the space on my hard drive is just filled full of footage of Elite Dangerous and Baldur's Gate, absolutely tons of it. And yeah, actually I had to put pause on playing this campaign with Nipsy, because I literally got to the point where I only had, you know, a couple of 100 gigabytes left of space on my hard drive, and I was like, man, that's worrying. So yeah, as I go, I have to do a sort of focus of deleting as I go. So the odd thing is, the only place my videos exist are actually online, which is really weird. But all the years I've done YouTube, I don't have a backup of anything I've ever made. It's on YouTube, and that's it. If, you know, when YouTube take my channel down at some point in the future, it'll be gone. Which is kind of sad, but it's also kind of weird. You know, I mean, I did used to try and back stuff up, and then I just realized it was just not worth it. The file size. I mean, fair play to YouTube, the amount of stuff that gets uploaded to it. And here's me adding half an hour long episode of Baldur's Gate, which, I mean, let's be fair, I'm probably going to be lucky if this video gets 25 or 30 views. But I've always said, if someone likes it and someone's watching it, I'll continue to make it, because I'm just going to bring you what I enjoy doing. Currently I'm enjoying playing Baldur's Gate. I've got a couple of campaigns on the go. I've got this one, which is the strict honor mode, playing it absolutely straight-laced, and then I've got my one with the character inventively titled Cheaty, where I'm using a lot of mods. And that one keeps getting restarted because, my god, do they keep adding more mods. And then we've heard that we're going to get a huge update in January. It's so big that I'm like, do I restart? Do I restart this campaign? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to restart this campaign. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this campaign, and then I'm going to look at doing another playthrough, maybe with a different character, because there's so much being added. It's, I mean, what Larian have done with this game is phenomenal, and the fact that they keep saying, oh, that's it, and they keep doing more and more and more is amazing. And the whole mod system that they brought in, the fact they're doing this many mods, it's just awesome. There's nothing, I can't praise them enough. For a single player game to have this much replayability, longevity and interest, And the modding community, I mean, God, the guys that create the mods, fair play to them. Oh, that'll probably be it. That's it. It's me destroying the Sousa bark because I'm an idiot. But the guys creating the mods, the amount of mods, the detail in some of the mods, the coding ability some of the mods show. I mean, man, it's just so inventive, so creative. There's amazing mods. And some mods are like crazy for the point of view they're just ridiculous and make you OP as hell. You know, I have taken a level 20 character to the goblin fight right at the start. You know, when you arrive at the Druid Grove, and yeah, that's a thing you can do with mods. But ultimately, it's great that the modding community are doing all the work, and hopefully there's going to be some extra. There's on about doing mods where they actually create content for the game and pseudo levels for the game. Which, if they do that, that'll be phenomenal, and I will be over the moon with that. You know, there's nothing more than to allow modders to add content to a game that Larian made is brilliant. And Larian's support of the modding community has been huge, and Larian's attitude towards the modding community has been great. As far as I can tell, they've been really supportive. There are some mods that we may not get because of artwork and copyright conflicts. You know, for the most part, the amount of mods that have already come our way has been way more than I expected, and may it continue. I keep going over the limit of 100 mods, and I keep trying things out. I must have replayed the start of the first chapter so many times now, trying out different mods, different things, and yeah, it's cool. I've got to say, this is the most supported single player game that I've ever played on console. I mean, to do this sort of stuff on PC is not that rare, but to do this sort of stuff on console is huge. Absolutely monstrously huge. So this is where it starts getting risky, because I think Glut's too badly hurt yet, but as Glut gets messed up, suddenly I realise Shadowheart's too far away to heal him. Halfway up a tree, that's not good. Yeah, so I get in an unideal situation with him getting battered, and this Drow just hangs around. He's so annoying. Shield is such a good spell. I admit it. I've been using the crap out of it in my D&D campaign I've been playing on a Wednesday, and my armor class is only 15 because of 20 with shield, and my only danger is like running out of shield slots. It's it's a really good spell. But as you can see, Glut took an absolute hammering one on the floor from the hook horror, and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling fine at this point, but you know, I'm thinking Shadowheart could just come over and heal him. I mean, there's not really a problem, is there? I was thinking of just running away with him, but instead of just walking for the acid, which makes him easier to hit. Not a great idea. And this guy just won't die. I have been extolling since the start of me playing this campaign that you want to look to do 2 fights a day and rest, because you're limited on things like rages, superiority dice, spells. You know, there's a lot of resource management in D&D, and there's no point in overstretching yourself. Like here, I was like, oh, I want to do that spell, and then I realised I didn't have any spell slots left, and I thought, well, maybe I'm going to need it for a healing word, but I probably should have done the aggressive thing, because it would have taken that creature out. Well, it should have done, but like, you know, 80% chance from Shadowheart's not a guarantee. And unfortunately that meant this creature then launched over and again was attacking Glut. And yeah, now I realise that Glut's a bit isolated, a bit out of range of everything, and this could legitimately be a problem. You know, but I mean, just in range of magic missile, which is going to help out a little bit. There is kind of an irony to trying to protect a character and end up putting him between 2 hook horrors. It didn't work out well, and everyone's a bit far away. Carmack's still trying to put down the the drow that won't die. At least the hook horror, the animated one, has actually managed to do some damage. And yeah, so hopefully he becomes the next target. I don't know. It gets worrying, as you'll see. So he's on 2 hit points, trapped in a corner, and I'm like, I'm just going to skip his turn. I should have, wow, I thought about punching him, and I thought if he doesn't attack, maybe the beast will just turn on, the AI will turn on whatever attacked it last. Fortunately, due to this sort of messing around, Lizella's actually got all her bonus damages up, I think. That's the build I'm going for with Lizelle, is lots of little bits of damage that she gets extra, either with a bow or a melee weapon. Now, unfortunately, as you can see, I couldn't heal him. I couldn't heal him with this because apparently he's not in sight, because he's up there. So this is not dependent on line of sight, but for some reason this didn't work either, and it worked on the hook horror but not him. And I was like, oh well, he's dead, this is going to be a pain in the butt, but oh well, you know. And then it did turn on the hook horror, so I think the AI was attacking the last thing that damaged it, so that choice to skip his turn was actually really super beneficial. And yeah, that is you know, the way it goes. Sometimes you just get lucky by not doing anything, and now it's just a case of finishing off the last few hit points on things. And yeah, unfortunately I'm just making a meal of this, but it's all worked out in the end. Glut walks away on 2 hit points, which I'm going to have to wait till rest to heal him, and Karlach finally finishes off the drow, so that all worked out. Uphill struggle, but it all worked out in the end, no one died. And then back at camp we rested up, and Gale offered me the opportunity to be his silver medal behind his goddess Mistra, who he's definitely in love with. Although I flirt with Gale, I'm definitely not choosing Gale as a romantic partner in this game. I am going to probably go with Lizelle because, yeah, Lizelle's got that new ending that's been added, so I'm going to go with Lizelle as the romance, just so I can see the new ending. And when we came out the next day, the Bullet did turn up for a bit of a fight. Didn't stay very long because Karlach hits really, really hard. Now, there's not really much to talk over this fight, so I'm going to say that's all. Thanks for watching there, and if you're really interested in watching the Bullet get hit by a lot of things, I'd say stick around and watch that. But yeah, I'm going to end this episode talking while he's here because of the storm and stuff going on in the background. And I'll leave you with this fight. And as I decided not to get the Raven killed because it's the start of the day and I don't have to resummon it. And yeah, deal with the Bullet. Anyway, that's all. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Let me know in the comments down below what you're thinking of the patch that's coming out for Baldur's Gate, if you've seen the news for it. Let me know what you think of that. A load of new subclasses, including some Bard subclasses being added, which is amazing. And also let me know what you think of the current crop of mods. And yeah, before this building falls down on me, I'm going to say that's all. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.